You guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Sarah Steffen. Today I'm on location in Wisconsin Dells. I am sitting in my hotel room right now. I just got done with a full day of continuing education, and these days are exhausting. I mean, I don't really do anything other than sit and listen and learn and absorb all the information that's being thrown at me, thrown at all of us. But still, even though I'm sitting for primarily most of the day, I mean, I had to get up early to get here. But I am tired, but I'm also really pumped up. So I want to just welcome anyone new here. If you're totally new here, you don't know that I'm a chiropractor. Some of you probably know that I'm a chiropractor. Some of you know from day one that I'm a chiropractor. Sometimes I say it, sometimes I don't. And today, I'm going to help you understand a lot more about chiropractic. Hopefully you understand more at the end of this so that you can understand why you need to look up a chiropractor in your neighborhood and go and start getting adjusted on a regular basis. Because the truth of the matter is that I started this channel to help everyone develop healthier habits in general. But really, at the core of it, I love chiropractic care. I absolutely love the profession of chiropractic. I love everything about it. And I've loved everything about chiropractic since I was 10, when I first got introduced to chiropractic care after a car accident. So today, I want to enlighten all of you guys on some of the inspiration that I got. I got re-inspired today is really what it comes down to. And that's one of the reasons I really love continuing education. I love to learn. I love to expand my knowledge. And two, I love being around like-minded people. And this group of people that I'm with right now are definitely like-minded. You know, there's many different philosophies and different techniques and all kinds of stuff within the world of chiropractic. But these people, that we all have each other's backs, literally and figuratively, right? So some of you may be on the spectrum of like, I am turning this off right now because I don't like chiropractors. And if that's you, great. I have no judgment for you. There's others who are going to absolutely love chiropractors and only seek chiropractic care, which I don't know if that's always the smartest. We do sometimes need some medical intervention. But most of us are going to fall in that middle of that bell curve, right? We're not one extreme or the other. We're right in the middle. And I want to influence you guys, right? I want to influence those people in the middle that may be sitting on the fence. Maybe you get adjusted here and there. Maybe you just go in when you're in pain. Maybe you get adjusted, but no one else in your family does. And I'm not a big fan of that. I think everyone in your family deserves to have a healthy and well-functioning spine and nervous system. Today really reminded me of the importance of what I do on a weekly basis in my office. I'll give you a few stories. I've been in practice for almost 20 years, which seems insane to say that. It seems like so long. And I've seen some really incredible miracles. I would say they were 100% miracles. And I've seen healing. I've seen improvements. I've seen changes. I've seen people struggling who then get adjusted and are no longer struggling. And it is really it's amazing to watch the body heal and get better, right? And we're going to get to why I love that in terms of vitalism here in a minute. But I wanted to share a few stories that I was just like kind of noting down and kind of just thinking back over the course of these 20 years to kind of give you an idea of the scope of what can happen when you start getting adjusted on a regular basis. I had a gentleman come in one time and he said his headaches were so bad, it felt like it felt the same as if he was to take a beer bottle, break it on the edge of a counter and shove it into his head. That's what his headaches felt like, right? And when he started getting adjusted, it wasn't even that long. I think it was probably 5 or 6 adjustments. And he came back and he's like, oh my gosh, this is a totally different game, right? Because if you don't know anything about chiropractic care, chiropractors are dealing with the nervous system. It's the most sensitive system ever discovered anywhere in the universe, right? It's our brain and our spinal cord. It is so magnificent. It controls and coordinates everything in your body. And when your brain and body are communicating properly, everything's working well. Right? But so many of us have these different situations and incidents and accidents and things and stress in our lives that cause our body not to be able to respond properly. We get stuck, right? And we get jammed up, and whether that's in your lower back and your neck or wherever it might be, if you go in and see a chiropractor and you get evaluated and they take a peek at your spine and they're looking at the range of motion, they're looking at your posture, they're going to be able to find out like, okay, the problem is here or the problem is here. And what we need to do is this and this and this, right? And then they get to work as long as you let them get to work, right? And when I say we get to work, most of us use our hands to move the bones of your spine back to where they're supposed to be. And when we realign those bones of your spine, the body and brain can communicate properly again. And that's when healing happens, right? I've said this for many years. I could never be a medical doctor, primarily because I hate blood. I absolutely despise needles. And I would be miserable if I had to deal with people every day coming in and saying, this hurts, or I need this medication, or, demanding different things. Because what I deal with on a weekly basis is people who come in, and most of our patients are here for wellness. They're getting adjusted on a weekly or every other week basis, maybe every 3 weeks. And they're coming in because they feel good and they want to get tuned up so they can stay functioning and healing well, right? And that conversation is much different than a medical doctor is going to have on a regular basis. My conversations are how your kids, what do what's happening in life? What adventures are you taking these days? We're not focusing on just the symptoms. I mean, there is time and place for those conversations, don't get me wrong. But most of the people that we have come in my whole goal of people coming into my office is to leave them happier, healthier, and more inspired by the time they leave my office, every time they come in, right? So Bill was one of those guys where beer bottle in the head. He was a completely different person from the moment I met him till 3 weeks into his care. And he was a patient I had him when I was in Illinois. So cross our fingers that Bill is still doing awesome. I had another woman in my Illinois office. Her name was Linda. I will never forget this because there's a few times in a chiropractor's career where this will happen. And she came in pain, limping, and just miserable, could barely stand up out of a chair. I mean, she had to really help to get herself out of a chair. And my process has typically always been, you come in for your exam, your consultation, your x-rays, all that good stuff. The first day I analyze it, I have you come back a second day. So the next day she came back in so I could go over everything and tell her what was going on and how we needed to work on fixing and correcting things. And we went out to give her her first adjustment. And mind you, her pain was in her lower back. She could barely, like I said, barely walk. I only adjusted and touched the top bone of her spinal column. And wouldn't you know it, I got her adjusted. It was that quick. And she sat right up and she just walked right over to my front desk. And all of us in my office just went like this. And she got to the front desk and it was like dead silent in my office. She gets to my front desk and she turns and looks at us. She's like, what? And I'm like, Linda, what did you just do? And she's like, oh my goodness. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I had a woman come in she was pregnant and I saw her walk in the front door and she always came in on Thursdays. And I was like, Carolyn, what are you doing here? Because it was like a Tuesday. She's like, well, thought I'd stop on my way to the hospital. I'm in labor. That was another really cool one. So she got adjusted on her way to labor because she knew that being well adjusted and having her pelvis aligned properly would help her have a more expedited and easier delivery, right? I mean, that was incredible. I had a woman who came in, Jamie, that was her name. I've been trying to think of her name. Jamie came in, this was a few years ago, and she was talking about pain she had. I think she had mid-back pain, upper back pain, neck pain. And she was talking about how she popped Tylenol and Advil like Skittles. And so fast forward a few weeks, we sit back down and I go over her goals. And I was like, well, remember when you first came in, you were popping Tylenol and Advil like Skittles. Where are we at? She's like, I don't take any. Her life entirely changed. Her liver and her kidneys, so much healthier, right? I mean, there's so many things that we could talk about in that respect. But before I just babble on forever, because I can, because this is just something that I'm really, really passionate about. is I want you guys to understand that chiropractic care at its foundation, in its philosophy, is totally distinct and separate from any other healthcare profession on the planet. We chiropractors, we believe that the body is self-healing, self-regulating, self-maintaining, right? We have a very vitalistic philosophy where we know that it's not what we do, it's we're allowing your body to heal properly by removing the interference, by removing what we call subluxation from your spine. And subluxation is a big term, and it's very special to the chiropractic profession. And really, what it has to do with is the fact that when your body is not recovering and responding properly to the stressors that you're putting it in, it has to alter itself. And altering it typically means that we're going away from a healthy way of being, because our body innately wants to be healthy. We have an innate intelligence that has us, and our body knows how to be healthy and keep us as upright and well as possible. But when our body starts to break down, that innate intelligence gets dimmed. And so when you can get adjusted and you can get under regular chiropractic care, that's when you can turn that innate intelligence back up to 100% and really function. And function is much more important to me than just feeling well, right? I want you to feel well, but really I want you to function and be a productive member of our society for a long time. And that has way more to do with just how you're feeling. So we're a drug-free profession. We believe in innate intelligence, which is that inborn knowledge inside of every single one of us. We are vitalistic, and we want you to be healthy and well. And when we correct something, we also know, and this is one of the things you hear all the time, well, once you go to a chiropractor, you're not supposed to stop. Yeah, and I'm not going to stop going to the gym just because I've gone for all my life. I'm not going to stop now. I want to continue to be healthy. I'm not going to stop changing the oil in my car, right? That needs to get done on a regular basis. It's regular maintenance. It's like if you pay thousands of dollars to move the teeth in your mouth, right? You get those braces and you move the teeth. You still have to wear a retainer, right? To maintain that alignment of those teeth. It's the same thing with your spine. I mean, the amount of stress we put our bodies through on a daily basis, weekly basis, it's no wonder we need regular chiropractic care, because we do stupid things in life all the time. And you got to work with your chiropractor and your healthcare team to stay healthy and well. So, if you're not under chiropractic care, I urge you to find someone, right? I urge you to find someone who you resonate with, because there's lots of different techniques and different things. If you don't want to hear noise, find someone who's low impact, whatever it might be. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. If you need to find a chiropractor in your area and you don't know where to look, drop your zip code down in the comments, and I'll see if I can help you out, because that's one of my big goals in life, is to get as many people under regular chiropractic care and take care of one spine at a time. And that way we can shift the dynamic of healthcare and the way we look at health in general. So find a chiropractor for yourself, for your family, for your kids. I mean, everyone can benefit from getting adjusted on a regular basis. So I'm tired. It's time for me to shower, go to bed, because I got, I don't know, like another 8 hours of this tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support. And yeah, give me a thumbs up if you like this one. Give me some comments down below, and subscribe, because don't forget, I have new content that comes out all about health and well-being every Monday and Thursday. Thanks, guys.